first of three different stages that we're going to take over. This one is for the maintenance contract, and I'll read it very quickly. Whereas the City of Morristown currently maintains and/or contracts the operation of the wastewater treatment facilities, and whereas the city currently contracts maintenance of the wastewater collection pump system to Veolia, and whereas an independent study by Lamar Dunn and Associates has indicated that cost savings and improved maintenance can be achieved by systematic transfer of the wastewater operations to MUC. And whereas the city and MUC have determined it mutually beneficial that the first step in this systematic transfer be assignment of maintenance responsibility for the wastewater pumping stations to MUC. And whereas MUC and the city have developed the attached agreement detailing said transfer to MUC. Therefore, be it resolved that the Morristown Utility Commission hereby approves the attached agreement with the City of Morristown to assume the maintenance of wastewater collection pumping stations for a term of 3 years, effective January 1, 2013. We've all talked about this several times. Is there any questions on this, or is there any explanation?
Questions on? We're going to have to hire more people. Lamar Dunn is saying we have to have at least 2 people.
Well, what do you say, though? What Mike says?
Well, we're going to look,
It's all
yeah,
what
you
Lamar
want,
does. It's all what Lamar does says.
Okay, my bill right now uses 2 people, they got that assigned in their
We
contract.
gotta do that cheaper than they do.
Yeah, I know, and, right now, my best estimate, with what I know right now, because we're not into it, but my best estimate right now, we're gonna save about $25,000.
For them.
That's based on.
They're not looking for a savings on this as much as they're looking for a better maintenance program to keep the equipment
Right,
operating properly.
right,
The pumps are the biggest thing, right?
right, that's the
For
first phase,
maintenance,
there's 30 pump stations, and they're anywhere from excellent condition to critical. And the ones that are in great shape, make long story short, the ones that are in great shape, we're gonna check them once a week, just like we do our pump stations, and go by there and maintain, make sure they're in operation. And then the ones that are critical, we're gonna have to go by there daily. And then right now, they've got contracts, they're either bidding or in process, to replace them and upgrade. And so we've got to maintain those. Now, part of that maintenance is we've got to be on call. We've got to go out, as soon as these things alarm, we've got to go check them, because one of the TDEC requirements is they cannot overflow. So we've got to send somebody out there to make sure that when they fail, we get it fixed or take proper action.
And there's 30 on them.
Can we fix it? 30.
Yeah, we'll be fixing.
That's
There's
one thing
also,
we've got. I mean, we've got a licensed electrician on our staff. And,
But they hired that to be fixed.
Right. Where we can get better response.
And we just bill them our cost
One, yeah.
plus overhead,
Yeah, right.
right, Mike? I mean, there's no profit margin in it
No.
for EBC.
it's fully, yeah, that's, they did have, one reason they save money is they have a cost average, and they have a profit
They have
margin.
profit margin.
Bill.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Right.
And that savings is based on 2 people.
Right.
I mean, we ran it at.
Our rent estimate based on what they're doing with their people. And so, hopefully when we get into this, we can scale back a little bit.
But our 2 guys will also maintain those pumps.
Right.
And they maintain your pumps too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Their 2 people don't do that.
So right now, our maintenance crew maintains our pump stations and our plant. And so, and even our tanks.
And we have-
They maintain the schedule.
We basically have one guy that does it, that's on call.
We've got one dedicated guy right
And he works a lot, he has a lot of overtime.
now. Right.
So he can't, there's no way he can pick that up and do what he's doing. But
But it's safe.
his expertise, like you said, being a licensed electrician, he knows the instrumentation, and they want SCADA, so we're gonna put a SCADA system in that's equivalent to what we do for remote monitoring. But now Mike's got, they don't have a work order system at the city, so we're gonna set up work orders that just track pump maintenance versus other.
What our agreement is with the city basically is, this is an estimated cost, where I said we could save $25,000, but at the end of the day, whatever the bill is, they pay it.
If
Okay.
we have SCADA and monitoring that, we can do that daily, maybe on those
It'll be
critical pumps.
Yeah, it'll be at the plant,
Yeah.
and course, we've got somebody there 24/7, and then they'll be monitoring.
So they won't have to travel around 30 pump stations.
We still got to get you, I think you got, that doesn't suffice for looking at the pump stations on
No,
a fixed
no, we
schedule. You still got to go.
Yeah, we still gotta go check.
There's a checklist. You got to go out there and you got to do that. You got to initial off, put a date on it, and TDEC will be looking for that. It's part of the MOM that they're under. But, you know, if we're going to end up audit running, we wanted to have a SCADA system that's similar. Once we get the pumps in SCADA, we can give them a remote, you know, the city a remote look at it.
What's best for the neighbors.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you get to-
Probably not too many of those neighborhoods.
They're coming along, aren't they?
There's only three or four of them. But I think it's a fair thing, we're okay with it, and I caution you, we're gonna have to immediately go get one person, if not two, pretty quick. And, it could be some of the guys that work, you know.
That's what I started to ask you.
Maybe, you know, someone we wanna look at.
Okay?
But its effective date, if you notice, is January 1, so we got a couple of months to get ready. And my understanding is, if the board approves this, it'll be one of the next couple of councils' agendas.
Okay, do I hear a motion we approve this resolution? Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion just barely survived. One aye and no opposed. Okay.